Thank you very much, Aman, for your session this evening. We have our guest speakers today from the Fiji Development Bank. These are the premier institution which normally funds our small micro enterprise and medium enterprise projects in the country. We'd like to invite Mr. Ilio Repikoroi, who is the Senior Relationship and Sales Officer for Agriculture. That means he's going to talk about funding programs and the establishment of small micro enterprise projects that's related to agriculture. Okay? We will now invite him now to take a stand and please talk about some of the programs and projects that the Fiji Development Bank has funded. Can we just give a round of applause to Mr. Corey, please?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon all. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Militaki for giving us an opportunity and invite the Fiji Development Bank to be part of this training. And I believe this is some sort of a marketing arm to us, because we know there's a lot of competition in the market at the moment. There's a lot of financial institutions, and there's a small piece of pie that we have to share. And this is somehow can be a marketing tool for us as well, when we come and market our products and see whatever assistance that we do at the Fiji Development Bank. Just to start with, we've got 3 divisions at the bank at the moment. We've got agriculture, we've got SME, which is small and medium enterprises, loans, and we've got our corporate loans. And to mention here, we finance any sort of business that you can think of. You name it, except money lending, because that's competitor to us. And I believe we are all psyched up at this moment, and we are more than willing to run a business at the moment. I've been in the bank for more than 15 years now, and at this point in time, I'm telling my colleagues, I want to go out and do a business by myself, because I've been doing advice every day, in and out, day in, day out. But I believe at this time I can run a business of my own. That's the thing that we do. The agriculture loan, we can lend from 1,000, sky is the limit, to the maximum amount that the bank can lend. At the moment, we can lend at about 22 million. That's the max we can lend to in agriculture. In SME, we can only lend up to 500K, which is $500,000, small and medium enterprise, with a maximum turnover of your business not to be more than 500K as well. Yeah? So for agriculture, we can lend to the maximum that the bank can give, and so as the corporate loans, we can lend from 500,000, $500,000 or 500K to the maximum that the bank can lend to, which is at the moment, which is about 22 million. So that's the 3 main areas that we lend to in the bank. Agriculture, small and medium enterprise, which is, before we always have a micro section in the bank. So we've ceased that operation at the moment, and now we're just concentrating on SME loans, which is from 1,000 to $500,000, which is 500K. Any question? So if you have any question, you can reserve it, otherwise you can interrupt me at any time if you need some clarification. And these are the main roles of the Fiji Development Bank at the moment. This is the main roles, the role and function of the main thing that we just want to tell us at this time is the products that we sell in the bank. So the roles and function of FDB, products and services available. How can entrepreneurs can be assisted through FDB? and impact to the society and the economy as a whole. So that's briefly what we're going to talk about at this time. FDB roles and functions: promote economic development, encourage the development of natural resources, promote enterprises, SMEs, and special attention to the rural and the agriculture sector. That's the main roles of Fiji Development Bank at the moment. These are some of the areas that we lend to, as I mentioned. One area that we lend to is agriculture. So in agriculture, it covers crops and vegetables, livestock, which you can see, dairy, beef, poultry, pig farming, and honey. We also lend in agriculture to fishermen, which is classified under fishing and aquaculture loan, and last but not least is the forestry. That's all the three the main areas that we lend to in agriculture. For small and medium enterprise, these are the areas that we lend to. Business purchase or establish, if you want to buy an existing business, or you want to establish a business, you need working capital assistance for any business that you are running, transportation, plant and equipment, investment in shares, and ecotourism projects. Those are some of the main areas that we lend to. So as I mentioned, we lend to any type of business. Any business that you can think of, we can assist you. Some of other products that we have here, the Export Credit Facility, ECF. This we normally assist people that export products. We can assist them. This fund has been provided by the government, Ministry of Commerce, and we are just facilitating the funds that they give to our business people in Fiji. Another export assistance is import substitution and export finance. We call it ISEFF. This fund has been provided by Reserve Bank of Fiji, and I said we just facilitate it with the Fiji Development Bank. And also sustainable energy financing. Those are some of the areas that we finance: solar, pico-hydro, fuel switching system, and energy efficiency. As I've said, we've got some limitation on this. We've got, for credit facility, we can give up to 200,000, 500,000. For ISCFF, import substitution, we can give you maximum of 1 million. If you need 1 million tomorrow for your export business, come and see me. I can assist you right away. So those are some of the things that we do with Fiji Development Bank. Also, one of the products is SCAF, Seed Capital Revolving Fund. Some of the business people in Fiji, they are unable to, because with Fiji Development Bank, we don't provide 100% finance. Be reminded, we don't provide 100% finance. We've got, for all different types of loans, we've got deposit or your contribution that has to be provided by the applicants, and we will finance the balance. So for example, in agriculture, if you want to apply to buy a piece of land, we can finance you up to 90%, or we can finance you up to 80%, where you will provide 10% of the total project cost of 20%, or whatever we will require. So in Seed Capital Revolving Fund, this is where the government provides equity for the applicants. So before, we always do provide assistance for SCAF for people that are running fishing business, forestry, and ecotourism. But at the moment, we've stopped the one for fishing, and we are just now opening for ecotourism and forestry assistance. So So that's why, if you ask me why, we've ceased in fishing projects, because most of the fishing projects that we finance, because this is a somewhat a revolving fund. So if you need 20 grand for your deposit, then we have to ask Ministry of Forestry. When they give approval, then that pool of funds is with us. So you can get that 20 grand from that pool of assistance for the deposit. When you use it, then we have to pay so that it can be revolved, where other business people can utilize the funds as well. But so sad, most of the people that have taken this loan were unable to pay their funds that they've used, and that is why we've ceased assistance on fishing for scarf projects. These are some of the how enterprises can be assisted. As far as the business structure, you can be applying as a sole trader or individual. You can apply as cooperatives. You can apply as partnership or trust. You can apply as JV or joint venture, or you can form a private company, limited liability company, and this is we can all assist this kind of business structure. This is
just one question. Just in regards to unlocking business, like if you have land, you have a lot of native wood, and you're thinking about establishing a logging business.
That's right.
Could you tell us some of the provisions or some of the opportunities that the bank might be able to lend to someone who was thinking of establishing a logging business?
Thank you. For logging business, we've got few assistants that we can assist people that want to do logging. First of all, we can assist them if they want to buy trucks for transporting their logs. We can assist them for purchase of truck. Secondly, we can assist them if they want working capital.
Or portable sawmill.
We can also assist them with portable sawmill. We can assist them with a working capital. Those are the three main areas that we can lend to. First, we can assist them as for buying their equipments, any equipments, logging equipments, including vehicles and machines, which includes loader, all those D4 and all those heavy machines. We can assist them with those kind of assistance, portable sawmill, and also working capital. If they need funds just to run their business, we can assist them with those assistance, with those logging. But as I've said, we've got limited funds left now at the moment for the scarf. We can always call and ask how much balance there, because I've said people that are coming in, they've been using that revolving fund, and we will be waiting for them to come and pay up their, because when you do the payment, we're separating the repayment. One is for the revolving fund, which is interest-free, and their term loan, where we're charging interest. That's how we're separating the accounts. And most of the clients at the moment have been mistaken. They're thinking that the revolving fund, it is only interest-free, but they're taking it wrongly. They thought it's not to be paid. So that's why most of these funds at the moment are coming back very slowly. So it is now a hindrance to the people that are willing to come and use those kind of funds. But you know the mentality that we have in the village and those. But it's so good now. We've got a fair idea. We educated people. We've got a fair idea of how, when we say it's a revolving fund, we know, oh, this fund is going to be paid and it is going to be used by someone else. But those people in the village, oh, I can't explain how. They thought, we're telling them it's only interest-free, but we have to pay. But in the mentality, they thought we only have to pay the FDB portion, and the revolving fund from the government, they're thinking that is that's a free money. So if you want to apply for logging, that's how you can come and ask how much is left in the pool for the staff. So if you need 20,000 or 30,000 or 40 grand for your assistance, but please just come and ask for it first. Otherwise, the pool is already dry, and we are waiting for yeah. So, but that won't stop you. If the pool is empty, please, you can get from your own pool. Which means we have to. Sorry about that. So I think your question has been answered, Mr. Viltaki. Okay.
Give an example of a fund, especially in the
Okay.
you loan a certain amount of money, you have to be another certain amount of interest in the BFD. So it depends on the
At the moment, for agriculture and SME lending, the government now is assisting all the applicants by paying subsidy to Fiji Development Bank. Like at the moment, our maximum interest rate for loans up to 50 grand is 10.2. Our maximum interest rate for SME loans in agriculture up to 50,000 is 10.2. But good news to us, the government is paying 6%. So for all applicants that are coming for agriculture loan and SME loans, the maximum you can pay now is only 4.2. No other bank can give that. Don't tell USP and respect. So that's why FDB is promoting SME loans and agriculture loans up to 5 to 50 grand because the government is paying 6%. So the maximum loan you can pay at the moment is 4.2. But if you're from Lambasa, from the northern, you can pay an interest up to maximum 3%. That's how, because we people from Lambasa will be praying so hard. If and that's the advantage from us. I'm from Lambasa anyway.
That's why you're promoting Lambasa.
So now there's a policy from the government which is called Look North policy.
Look North policy.
Look North policy. Not look eastern or look central or look western. From this time only, we've got a government policy in place which is called Look North policy. So for the 6% that is paid for all the people in the central, eastern and western, but those people from the north, they are enjoying subsidy up to 8%. So if you want to go and establish a business in the north, that's a good idea. So these are some of the assessment criteria that we have. We would like to see your credit worthiness. We normally conduct data bureau sets for all the loans that I know. If you go to any financial institution at the moment, the first thing that they're gonna do is you're gonna have to fill on a form and you have to pay $16 for your credit worthiness sets, which is data bureau, project viability, sound management. We want to see that you have got some skills and knowledge and how you can manage your business, how well the business is, how viable is the business, because there's some very important aspects, how well you can repay your loan. As I've said, the only problem now, when you come in for assistance, it's so easy to get the money out from the bank. But to get money out from your pocket, oh, by end of the month, today is the end of the month, that's why we are coming late. I'm following up on one of my clients in Lambasa. I've been lending to one of the Tawan guy in Lambasa in Reketi. We've given him the loan. He's been running around trying to collect. He got about 6 accounts with us. That's why it's taking a lot of our time. And most of our big clients, we are running around trying to collect. That's why we're coming late. But today is the busiest day, because today is the last day of the month. So as I've said, we get to get repayment done. That's how we have to see the viability of the project. Payment and serviceability, how well you can service your loan. You want to see your projection, your cash flow, what you are projecting for your business. Normally we take 3 years projections, and that's for new business. And if it is an existing business, we normally ask for financials, so we assess financials for at least 2 or 3 years history of the business. That's how we assess. And the security, be reminded that all the loans that we give, we normally give secured loans. For the past 3 years, we've been giving unsecured loans, maximum of 5,000. I know nearly all the people in Fiji, nearly all the families, they got assistance from this assistance, unsecured loan. But 99.9% not paid. Let's give a hand. That's why we insist that assistance, unsecured loan. As I've said, that's a mentality that we have with us. We thought that's free money. No, it's not a free money. It's just an unsecured loan. See, that's how we interpret assistance that we do in the bank. When we tell them it's interest free, they say, no, this is free money. When we told them this is unsecured, they interpreted, no, this is not to be paid. So all the funds that we give now are all secured loans. That's why we are looking for security and protection, just to cover our interest. If you are not able to pay your loan, and if one of your house or your land is mortgaged with a bank, the very next thing that we're going to do, we're going to sell that land, sell that house, and you're going to end up in the road, we'll recover our money. That's why protection and security is one of the criteria that we assess in the bank, and it should be aligned with our policies of the bank. Now this is an interesting part, and we would like to elaborate on this. And all these future entrepreneurs, you're going to try to improve on this. So these are the critical factors that we found with Fiji Development Bank at the moment. This is our failures. So it's good to look at our failures. That's where we're going to improve from now onwards. Financial indiscipline, working capital, and capital position. Those are one of the areas that we see in the bank that we lack financial indiscipline. I know I was just talking to Mr. Militaki a while ago, and he was telling me that he already organized some training in regards to financial literacy. I'm so glad that most of us have gone through those training, because when we are financial literate, then running a business is not really a problem for us. So secondly, business management practice, lack of business skills and management. For example, if you want to run a restaurant business, and you yourself, you don't know how to cook chili chicken, or how you have to cook black bean chicken in black bean sauce. I know most of the Chinese are running restaurants in the business in town. Why? Because they are very well in doing cooking. So for us, okay, I'm from the owner of the business, and I'm going to hire Emmeline to be my chief cook. And when she did something wrong in the business, I won't know what she's been doing. Why? Because I don't know how to cook. I'm not very familiar in that. So choose a business that you're familiar with. Cash flow management, that's another problem that we see. It's how to manage cash flow of the business. Technical expertise, as I've said, if you are running a farm, if you're not very good at farming, or you don't have a fair idea of how to plant ginger and you want to plant ginger, that's some of the things that we see that we are lacking in. Marketing, most of us, we choose products without choosing the market first. The first thing you have to do when you're running a business, you have to start from back to front. You have to go and look for the market. If you see the market for the ginger is there, then you come and plant ginger. or you have to go and look for your market for $1. Some of us, we plant so many, they say, oh, this guy is planting $20,000. When the dollar time comes to sell the dollar, there's no market. Half of that dollar plantation is wasted. So you have to look for the market first. If you want to plant ginger, you look for your quota first. Yeah? So, an assignment of a proceeds not honored. That's one of the security that we take in the bank. Assignment of sale proceeds. So we've got few securities for the bank. One is mortgage, we can bill of sale if you're buying movable items and machines. If you are working and you need your payment to come directly from source or from employer, that's where we're taking assignment over your salary proceeds. And if you're buying ginger to a specific market, we can take assignment from that. The money to come direct to us, because many people are not so truthful at all, especially the business people. Yeah? Only few of them are so true. That's why we try to bind them in such a way that they can get out from us. That's why we're taking assignment of salary proceeds. That's where most of them not honored as well. For Firica, some of the factory funds not done. And some of the factory funds, they claim factory funds, but that payment has not been coming to the bank. Landowner issue, this is some of the problems that we face. If you want to lease a land, make sure it's a proper lease, not just, we call it in Fiji, a bakabanua kind, which means you just like to the landowner, or you just want a small piece of paper, okay, I've given my authority for you to farm my land. No, we won't accept that. Eh? We want proper agreement to be done, because that will end up in a lease issue. Backup service. For example, if you're running a taxi business, most of us, we just know how to drive. We don't know what will happen, because the road in Fiji, the condition is so pathetic. You drive a taxi within 1 day or 2 days, the second day the owner will come, hey, what's wrong? Oh, one of the side has been like this. You have to look for a garage, like there's some backup service that can assist you so that the flow of business can keep on going. Weather condition, we have to, if you are a farmer or you're a fisherman, we have to contact those people in Nandi more often, I believe, because most of us are just planting. When the flood comes, after planting so many hectares of ndalo and cassava, no insurance company in Fiji can insure those kind of things. They only we are so unfortunate, because all the insurance companies in Fiji, they don't insure crops and livestock. So you have to be very careful when rearing livestock, or you are a crop farmer or vegetable farmer. As I've said, contact those people in Nandi more often so that you can be aware of the different weather pattern in Fiji, or wherever you may be, in Solomon or Vanuatu. You better call those people in the weather department more often. LTA requirements, as I've said, when we finance most of the machineries, we finance taxi, we finance minibus, we finance trucks, if we have one RSL, which is rural service. So make sure that you are compliant with the LT requirements. And now the FIMSA requirement as well is very strict. If you want to buy a fishing boat, you must have a fishing license, you must have a boat captain's license, you must have all the necessary equipments in the license before they can give you the okay. In this, even in the village, if you are operating one small pond, you have to get approval from those people from FIMSA at the moment. So before coming to Fiji Development Bank, you must see that all those areas have been attended to before we can give you any assistance. These are just application cycle. She's the team leader in our customer service. So if you want to know anybody in the bank, she'll be the first point of contact with our customer service in the Fiji Development Bank. We've got other branches in Fiji. We've got one in Lambasa. I'll always start from Lambasa. We've got one from Lambasa, one in Lambasa, one in Senganga, one in Nambowalu, one in Sausabu, and we've got one branch in Tabiumi. So, okay, now I'll go to the west. We've got one in Rakiraki, we've got one in Mba, we've got one in Nandi, we've got one in Lautoka, we've got one branch in Singatoka, we've got one in Nausori, which is serving the province of Tailevu and Rewa. Thanks to Mr. Militaki, because he is from Tailevu. So one branch is just serving one province in Tailevu. That's the one in Nausori, and we are in head office. In head office, as I've said, in all the branches they are looking after all the loans. They're looking after SME, they're looking after agriculture, and they look after corporate loans. In the branch in Suva, we are specialized. Like I'm in the agriculture section, season customer service, there's the SME section, and there's a corporate section in the bank. So this application cycle, first thing you have to inquire, and after the inquiry, they'll pass it to the lending, whichever lending section, whether they can pass it to agriculture, if it is an agriculture loan, they can pass it to SME, if it is an SME loan, they can pass it to corporate, if it's a corporate loan. Will process, our maximum processing date at the moment is about 8 days. That is if your loan is 50,000 and below. So if it is more than 50, or if it is more than, say for example, if it is more than 500,000, then we have to pass it to our risk. Our risk, we then pass it to our executive committee. Then if it is beyond the discretion level, they will pass it to the board. So our board sits once in a month. So if you're applying for a bigger loan, then you'll expect to wait for more than 1 month. So if you're applying for a smaller loan, then at least you can wait for more than 1 week, at least 8 days at least, to get a decision from the bank. And when you have a decision, then we'll give you an offer letter where it contains our terms and conditions. If you are agreeable to those terms and conditions, then we will see that all the pre-disbursement condition is met. Then finally, we can give you the money that you want. And when you give you the money, the most important thing that we will supervise and try and get repayment from you as and when it is required. I believe that's just briefly some of the assistance that we do with Fiji Development Bank. As I said, if you have any questions at the moment, anything that you want to raise, whether it's interest rate, I think I've talked about interest rate. For agriculture, just so brief with agriculture, we do assistance in land purchase. If we haven't got a land, you want to buy a land, we can assist you for that. That's in agriculture. Secondly, we can assist you if you have a land with you and you want to make developments in the land, irrespective whether it is a crop development or livestock development. You want to build a poultry shed, you want to build a piggery, or you want to do a beef, or want to do dairy, or want to plant a vegetable, or you want to plant ginger or taro, you name it. We can assist you, but 90%. We need 10% from you. If you need 10,000, then work it out. You need 10% from you. That's development cost. If you want to buy any machines, any equipment, you buy a tractor, you buy a spade, you buy a knapsack, you want to buy a gumboot, you name it, we can assist you as well. Another assistance, we can build a farmhouse. You haven't got a house at all in the farm, we can assist you. The maximum we can give is 20 grand. And you have to provide 10% as well for the 20,000. If you need a farmhouse, we can build a farmhouse. We can also assist you in buying a vehicle, provided you've got a good track record with us. Only then we can assist you, if you have a good track record with us. Because if you don't have a good track record with us, we can't give you a 4x4. We can only give you a 2x2. Okay.
So is it also like communal land?
lending on communal land. As I've said before, the unsecured loan that we've been giving, that's simply to the communal land. But as I've said, at the moment, before the Turangani Koro or the Turangani Matangali just give his approval, at the same time we give 5 grand to him. The second thing, we come and look for him in that piece of land. Oh, the fella is in that village again. But they give us these things from this village. That's why we've stopped giving money on communal land.
There's one question there. No, because we're having this entrepreneurial workshop, and we're having young people who are just thinking of establishing business. That means that they don't have home security or anything like that. Okay. So how can you assist people who really want to start a small
for example, in agriculture, if you want to do agriculture, the only thing that we won't lend unless you got a land. So by hook or by crook, we have to find a land. We can also finance if you just get an offer letter from Fitch Development Bank. From TLTB or ILTB that we call at the moment. If you look for one land, then you go to TLTB. TLTB will just give you a piece of paper. And they said, okay, I'm offering you this land, and you have to pay us at least 6,000 before we can give you the title. So that is the only security that we are looking for. That in regards to agriculture, because we have to get the land before we can lend it to you. We have to get the land, L-A-N-D, before we can lend, L-E-N-D. So that land, L-A-N-D, is the security for the assistance that you want. So for SME loans, that will be difficult. For example, if you are running a canteen, if you want to go and start a shop or supermarket or a canteen or whatever, so say for example you need 10 grand to start off the business. Somehow you have to look for security. As I've said, we can take bill of sale. If you've got some bill of sale items that you can offer, fridge, washing machine, anything. We also take guarantee. So if you haven't got any fixed assets at all, so you have to look for somebody to guarantee your loan. We will tie you from any angle. Bear in mind. So you have to look for a person to guarantee, and the person they have to guarantee the loan must have a salary for 1 year not less than 10,000. So he or she will write a letter stating, I wish to guarantee for Mr. Militakis loan, and that thing we will prepare a security which is called personal guarantee. If Mr. Militakis is not able to pay for the loan, then we have to run around for his brother, Mr. Militakis Senior. Because Militakis Senior will give a salary slip and we'll work on that salary slip. So you can run away. If you run away, then you will, at the moment, we'll load you in the data bureau, we'll load you in the travel ban, we'll load you in anything. So everywhere you go, you can move. So we have to find a form of skill. They said, just for guarantee, it's just a letter. Then you have to pay any money, but in time of default, that's where we will be mouse and cat, we'll see. Somebody will run this side, and will run this side. Any more questions, Mr. Bintang?
Just one question regarding the fishing business.
Okay.
What if you already have an engine and you want to apply for a boat? Okay. Can the engine act as a sort of like a one-time contribution?
That's right. Project. So at the moment, our fishing policy at the moment, we only lend up to 50%. If you want to buy a fiberglass boat and an outboard engine, which costs 18,000, then you have to provide 9,000 cash. But bear in mind that we, Fitch Development Bank, is very flexible.
No, but what I'm saying is I already have the engine.
Yeah, that's right. I'll come to that, Mr. Militan. So that's 50% contribution cash. But we can also accept sweat equity, which means that he has already bought an engine as part of his sweat. That's what I call sweat equity. And that if that engine has value 7,000 and you want to buy a boat, say 22-foot fiberglass boat, costs 7,000, he can use that money, that engine, to be part of his contribution. We can accept that. So we accept cash contribution. We also accept sweat equity. For example, if you come into a farm development loan and you already plant 2 hectares of ndalo, which has cost about 5,000, and you are wanting a loan of 10,000, that can be part of your equity contribution instead of cash. Thank you for listening, Mr. McLean. Any other question? I think we are running out of time, so just bombard us with sort of questions. I think we can assist you. Otherwise, you can come and answer directly on Monday if you want to take one loan from Fiji Development. We are really needing a lot of customers at the moment. So that's why, as I said in my introduction, we are so glad that this is some form of marketing tool for us. Because as I said, the pie is getting smaller and smaller day by day. So being invited to be part of this marketing thing, to introduce our products, we are so glad. So now we are also going for business council. Now a few months ago, I was with those people from PNG trying to connect those business from Vanuatu, Solomon, PNG and Fiji. I was part of the meeting as well, where we made a memorandum of understanding for trading for all the different islands in the Pacific. I was so glad. So if you want from Solomon or from Vanuatu, you want to do business with one of the people in Fiji, or even me, I'm starting one business. Not one business, I'm also a businessman, by the way. She knows. I've got a farm by myself. I've got 2 areas, 2 farms. I've got before I used to run one restaurant. I've got taxi business. I've got a video shop. I've got Urau business coming from Laos, Suva at the moment. I'm buying fish from Laos. Anybody from Laos? Moade? I'm buying Urau from Moade. So, as I've said, I'm not only giving out money, but I'm doing business by myself, and I love running business. Yeah, I'm buying lobsters from Laos, and I'm going to export mahogany very soon to China. I was in one 2 months ago. I was in one path market to the Pacific, which was held with the Foreign Secretary. And all those people from China, from New Zealand, from anywhere, they are coming to Fiji to introduce the products that they want to buy. So I managed to connect myself with one of the buyers from China. So my wife is working for the Maersk liner. Those are the biggest shipping company in the world. So that's as I've said, when you choose a business, make sure that you've got some skills and knowledge. That's why I pick export, because my wife works for that biggest container shipping in the world, Maersk liner. So I just asked her, what's the rate to China? Can I get I'm part of this business as well. Can we get a reduced rate for that 20-footer container? I want to send 140 container to China for the waste mahogany from Nukurua. I'm looking after Fiji hardwood. In the bank. So I lend to them. I give millions and millions of dollars to Fiji hardwood. That's why in and out of mahogany in Fiji, I know every mahogany plantation in Fiji, start from Lambasa right up to Laos. So I've got a fair idea of mahogany. That's why I'm saying I want to export mahogany. And only the waste mahogany, because you don't have to buy the waste from Nukurua. The only thing you have to go, just hire a truck, load the waste, take it to China. You know the price of waste mahogany in China at the moment? $20 US for one 20-footer container. You want to come and partner with me? Just give me to my security. I'm joking. Okay, any question?
I think our friends from the other Pacific Islanders that are here today from the Solomons and Vanuatu, right? They're also probably into agriculture. They want to ask some questions because you work directly with the agricultural sector.
Okay.
All students.
Okay, just before they raise the question, I'm just like to raise something.
I think Koroy got overly excited there. In terms of just a clarification on the assignment, the guarantor, it shouldn't be more than, it should be 15,000 and above, the salary, yeah?
The salary.
Yeah, 15,000 and above per year. That's, I think he quoted low 10,000, eh? I think before you come to me on Monday and what? And in terms of logging, if it's extraction and logging of native species, then the permit is normally given by forestry. But if it's in terms of logging, you're buying a small sawmilling plant for logging and extraction of mahogany, you will have to be one of the 12 licensee that has been offered by government to be able to do that. Because in terms, you have, with our lending, it's also, part of it is also the decrees in place, the current decrees, and there is a mahogany industry decree. Even in terms of buying and selling of copra. From islands, you have the coconut industry development decree. So with those decrees, especially for mahogany and copra,
Virgin oil.
yes, well, that's around the same thing. But in terms of native species, it's easier. So forestry is always there. Thank you.
I think because the general elections is just around the corner, everything is possible right now.
So any question?
There you have it, students, for a wonderful presentation there from people who are actually funding small and medium micro enterprise projects, and of course big loans, as you may have heard Mr. Correa alluded to. Yeah, this is the Fiji Development Bank. This is the institution that's mandated to assist us with our business ideas to be generated and establish income generating projects to sustain, improve our livelihoods. Yeah, I think there are no questions. Anybody would like to ask a question?
Yeah, just one question here. Out of them, many companies that you have been like providing funding to them, lending money, how many of them have been successful in their repayment of loans?
Like which type of loan that you are talking about?
Agricultural and other SMEs.
Yeah, like for us, the success rate at the moment, it is more than 65% for agriculture and SME. Like for agriculture, mostly Fiji Development Bank finance most of the agriculture funding in Fiji, so it is sort of a development bank. So if we lose out on most of the loans based on natural disasters or any sort of thing that they are not being able to pay, like we are just playing a role of development bank. So, but we will always try our best to assist them and guide them for success. But as I've said, agricultural loan in Fiji, the success rate is always low. So that's why most of the financial institutions in Fiji at the moment are not, they are funding agricultural loan, but provided they are always well covered. So for Fiji Development Bank, we can go right down to 25% covered. Yeah? So commercial banks, mostly they will want 100% covered. So if you take 10,000, they'll make sure that the value of security that they take from you is also 10,000. So for Fiji Development Bank, we can go right down to 25%. So that's how flexible we are. And as I've said, we won't expect much of the success rate from most of our agriculture and SME lending as well, because we just playing our role as a development bank.
Mr. Corey, just probably one last question. Yeah? These agricultural loans that you're funding will also include young farming? I mean, you want to start...
we can also finance, like I said, any type of row crops, but the repayment time will depend on what type of crops that we finance. For example, if you're financing ginger, then ginger, for immature ginger at the moment, it's only 5 months. So if you take a loan, season for planting ginger in from August, July, August. So by February, March, we can be able to get proceeds from there. So we can give you at least 6 months or 8 months for your repayment to commence. So if you're planting talo is normally 7-8 months. So we normally give at least 1 year to be safe. So if you're planting Angona, then Angona will take about minimum of 3 years before it can be sold in the market. So we will give you repayment, at least pay interest for the first 3 years. Then thereafter you can start your main repayment. So we can always finance, but it will depend. The repayment will always differ from what type of product that you choose to plant on your land. I think there's no more. I think your question has been answered, Mr. Bitaki. Okay, thank you very much. So Emmeline has got a checklist there with her. If you need a checklist for any types of ore, it's there. And a copy of our presentation, we can always send it to Mr. Bitaki. And if you need a copy of that, we can always assist you. But otherwise, we are in our head office in Suva. Emmeline, and sorry, I didn't bring I didn't bring my business card today because she just told me 5 minutes before I come and do the presentation. So that's why I never bring my business card. So my name is Koroy, but you can come and see Emmeline on me. We are just based at the ground floor at the Business Development Bank in Suva, 104 Victoria Parade, Suva. Once again, thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you sometimes in future if you want to come and deal with Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress. Thank you very much.
Just before you sit down, Mr. Corey, we have our Pacific Islanders here. Do they get assisted here to Fiji? I mean, do you extend your loan facility outside of Fiji?
I think for that they can apply through JV, joint venture. You have to come through Investment Fiji to get approval and look for a partner, as I've said, a local partner. So you know the set that you should have. 4951. All the people from overseas should have 49 shares. And your partner in Fiji to have 51 shares. So that's how you can, I think you can apply through JV or joint venture or partnership. You know the business structure that I've shown earlier in one of the slides. So that's how you can come in where we can always assist through joint ventures and partnership. I think that's clear. Eh?
So that's probably why the Chinese, the guy from Taiwan, he probably came to the joint venture.
Yeah.
So as soon as probably a person from outside of Fiji comes into the country, then they are able to access loans from you.
Yeah, they can. But as I've said, the first thing you have to go through Fiji Investment. Eh? They will give you, or I think it will be wise for you to if they can be invited and they can come and speak on how I think we went to their training, one of their training last year, and there's heap of things that we have to give them before they can give us that certificate from Investment Fiji to come and borrow, approval to come and borrow in Fiji. So if they can be invited, as I've said, it will be very useful to them, and they can always come and be assisted in Fiji through that certificate given by Investment Fiji.
Okay, thank you very much. There you have it, students. Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Puroi, and thank you, Mr. Puroi, for coming to the South Pacific and doing a wonderful presentation on the products that you provide at the Fiji Development Bank, and of course being a guest speaker for us this evening.